got for 200,000 or 230, something like that. I think that's all I heard. You said a bunch of extra numbers, and I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. But all good, all good. Let's take a look. We are on Buy Box Live.
It's a buy and hold, so the property value goes up over time as well. I
Yeah.
think some people don't want to. I got lower offers. The closest I got was like 260, but I'm not making anything on it. So
What do you mean you're not making anything on it? See, that's why. And you gave me all these numbers. I'm like, okay, cool. So you're about to make
okay.
you're about to become a billionaire. Is basically what I was thinking. But now, yeah, maybe you can tell me again, like big picture. What are the big picture takeaways here? Like, how much?
So Mark, you got like a 20% market discount from asking.
20% down.
But
Yeah. Okay.
20% below market asking.
Yeah.
I mean market value.
Yeah.
If we have it under contract for 270, but I'm asking 283,500. I mean, I could take a lower assignment. I don't really mind.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You're saying you can take a lower assignment, and then before you told me you're making nothing. So is like is 50,000?
260.
Okay.
No, 260. There's no assignment. You know, it's below what we have under contract for. That's what I meant. But
okay.
So we have under contract for 270. But I got an offer at 260. I'm assigning it for like 280.
Okay.
I get my assignment, but
yeah. So you're assigning it.
That's what I meant.
You're assigning it for 280.
Yes.
You got it under contract for 270. That's 10,000 difference.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And then you're telling me you got an offer for 260 or something around there.
Around there, yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you are looking for 280, right?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. That sounds good.
I want to make sure like investors, because I'm trying to be an investor as well. So I just want to make sure the numbers also work for you guys. You know.
Yeah. All right. Make sure the numbers work. Well,
I sent that over. Let me know if you got that.
Somebody did send me a message, so let's check on that. Now, here's the thing. It really depends on who your buyer is, right? Who's going to buy this property? That's what matters. I see a friend request from you. I don't see a message, but it's all good. Maybe you posted it somewhere else. Looks like over here, maybe. All right. Nope, don't see it there. So I don't know. You said you sent it over. I don't. Hopefully, you didn't send it to someone else. But it's okay. High level, right? I basically think in terms of you're trying to assign the contract, which is fine, but that basically says that you are a wholesaler. Okay, fine. Now you need to think about how the deal is structured. So if it's a large cash offer, like huge, right? Then whatever that number is, like over 100,000, over 50,000, then you're looking for someone to come along and buy it for cash, whatever that cash is. They're going to be spending cash to get this property, right?
Or hard money, whatever.
Yeah. I'm telling you, people just love to be exact, dude. It's cash. You call it hard money.
Cash, yeah.
You call it hard money. There could be a DSCR involved. There could be a bank involved. A bunch of other people. It doesn't matter who's involved. The buyer is going to find the money, and the seller is going to get cash. Okay.
Yep.
So to me, that is still a cash deal. Okay.
Yep.
So that's where we're at. So that means you're looking for someone who is willing to spend that much. Okay. Now, me personally, for any single property, everybody knows. Welcome to Buy Box Live. If this is your first time, but everybody knows, I buy properties with my own money. I don't go to lenders. I don't go begging anybody for anything. And as a consequence, I'm not spending over $50,000 on any one property. I don't care how beautiful it is.
Okay, makes sense.
So, we're talking about, okay, well, what kind of buyer are you looking for? You're looking for a buyer who's willing to find a way to spend 270, 260, 280K. Okay, so you're looking for a cash buyer basically, because that's what the kind of deal, that's the kind of deal you have. So that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. We can see if we can do that.
Mhm.
Now the question is it a good deal? Well, someone like that, they're only, you say it's a buy and hold. I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to think through that. The challenge here is a cash buyer typically wants to have some value add. They want to buy the property and, I don't know, fix the walls, fix the doors, the
Yep.
windows, right? They want to do a little bit of renovation, probably 10K or less. They really don't want to do 50K plus, but they want to do a small amount of renovation, and then turn around and sell it for like $1 billion. I mean, that's generally speaking, what a cash buyer wants to do, right? So, and then of course there are others. They're like, okay, fine. I guess literally, I've met someone who loves to renovate. I don't know why she loves it, but she loves to renovate, and she, I mean, to be fair, my mom was the same way. Give her a hammer, and she wants to go knock down a wall. She wants to go destroy like a, what was the last one she did? She did, it was like an oil heating system, and man, she took that hammer. And she had a huge ass smile on her face. She's like, bang, 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 damn, knocking this stuff down. People are like that. Some people are like that, and it's fine. I'm not one of those. I'm like the opposite. I'm like, too much work. 50K, 30K, 20K renovations. Now I'm out. So that's basically the thing. You have to figure out, well, who is this going to go to? Who's going to buy this property? Does it need renovation?
Minimal, so less than 10K.
Okay, see, that's good. Less than 10K. But remember, you were telling me some other things. You told me that they want to live in the house. They want to be the ones paying you rent, and they want to pay rent upfront. So whatever that number is. And so I'm like, okay, well, if they're selling the house, hopefully there's some equity, maybe a little tiny bit, 10K, 5K, whatever. And then they're going to give you a bunch of money up front. I don't know, 30K, 20K, whatever. And they're going to stay in the house, fine, for a year, fine. I'm like, man, this sounds like a deal. It sounds like a deal. Somebody should come along. But then you said the 280 and the 270 and the 260, and that's where I got a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? So the properties, how much is the property worth again? Tell me that.
338,500 market value.
He's doing this again.
Read it like there.
I'm missing you. I'm losing you. Is that me or is that you? Your network or my network? I don't know. One of us has to drop because I'm no longer hearing you. And since I have the power, you, sir, will have to drop and come back. All right, Megaplex, man. It's all right. We got you. Let's go and we'll see if it's me. I'll drop and come back. I don't think it's me.
Guys, I'm back.
All right, see? It's not me.
There you go. Okay.
It's Reno, the Reno man.
What's up?
The guy who wants to reno properties. What is up, sir?
Yep.
That's a great name, by the way, in this field.
No, it's not my name, but that's my nickname.
That's your nickname. See, you're a guy who likes to reno. Now we just need to find another guy whose name is Burr, and like B and like 10 R's after it, and y'all can get together and start doing fix and flips. Reno and Burr.
That's the goal. That's the goal, actually.
Nice.
Get some liquid cash, like build that wholesaling business, and head on to invest in real estate. So
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Cool.
So, you said you want to pick up like properties at 50K under, right? Do you focus? I heard there's a strategy.
We're missing you again. You gotta come back. Anime character.
Could you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you keep going in and out.
That's weird.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Just joking. YouTube, don't kill me. It's a joke. What's up?
Yeah. So, you said you're looking for properties under 50K. Have you heard of slow flips?
Slow flips?
Yeah. It's just another fancy term for owner finance or seller finance, but finding cheaper homes and then having them selling them on terms, basically. Seller finance.
I like that idea.
Like almost close to like 30K, 50K houses.
Yeah.
And then seller financing it to, I say, 100K.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Something like that, and then a 35-year amortization. They pay you as if you were the bank, even if the market crashes or even if anything happens, you're still getting paid. So every month, more like a passive income close to it. Well, it's a cool strategy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I like the idea. I really like the idea. It's very similar to what I do. So
you should check it out.
Yeah, it's very similar to what I do. Like a property like that. Basically, what I do using the shared equity plan, I'd be like, okay, I see your property. You're trying to sell it for 50K. I get it. You want to sell it for 50K, but it's actually worth 150. So I personally don't like to do fix and flips, but if you and I can get together and joint venture, I bring the money, 10K, let's say, 50K,
Yeah,
right, 30K, whatever that number is. I bring the money. This guy is ticked off with these numbers. These numbers are sensible, right? These are what I talk about. But I bring the cash, you bring the property. So I don't do the fix and flip like a traditional fix and flip. I don't go to a bank and find 100K for the renovation plus the purchase of the property. Okay? So I don't find 100K from a bank and then take that number and buy the property from them. They walk away with 50K, yay or nay, whatever, right? They're not too happy either way. And then I renovate the property and then I try to get, 150 or 200 out of it, right? Nothing like that. What I do is in a situation like that, I will do a shared equity plan, joint venture. They bring the property, I bring the cash, I get the property for hopefully $0. Okay? I get it for $0. That's what I want to do it for. $0. Because what? I know that any property I buy, I need to spend $10,000 on it renovating. If it only needs $10,000, awesome. If it needs $30K, like the last property I was about to buy, I was at the closing table. I was a few days away from the closing table, and I thought, okay, man, this is more than I like. I like zero down, 10K I could potentially do, and it ended up being, 12K. I'm like, okay, it's over my limit. Don't really like the idea. And I'm like, all right, fine. Well, let's go ahead and see, let's go ahead and do an inspection. Did an inspection, came back and like, okay, now I have, even before the renovation was complete, because they weren't able to to see the whole thing because half the property didn't have utilities, which you have to have utilities so I can know how much I have to buy, right? And it's in the contract, right? You got to have everything turned on. I was unable to do that, unfortunately. So I couldn't really tell, hey, am I going to owe 30K on this property? It was at least 30K. Is it going to be 50K or 60K? I actually had someone told me, oh yeah, this is going to be 60K. I was like, and I didn't have the full inspection yet. So I'm like, okay, right now I have no idea how much this property is going to cost me. I don't have the information I need, blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, so I was very upset about it. But at the same time, it would have been a property I bought for less than 12K and then would have renovated, right? So I don't want people to be confused. The whole point of me buying a property for zero down is so that I can put whatever money I would have paid towards the seller or wholesalers and all these other people. The whole reason I want to joint venture with everybody is, hey, let's all just joint venture. You find me an awesome property if you're a wholesaler, and if you're not a wholesaler, then you can and you own the property. Cool. Well, you just bring the property and don't ask me to pay you anything up front. We'll just joint venture on this property, and then I put my money into renovating, and all of a sudden we now have an awesome, awesome, awesome property that we sell. It's beautiful. Renters are loving it. Either I keep it at that point and pay you back, or and you walk away, or we keep going and we all go off to the sunset, becoming millionaires over time. That'd be awesome.
I like the idea, but do you guys split the profit when the
Yeah.
property sells?
Absolutely. That's what a joint venture is. It's not like, oh yeah, give me this property. Like some people try to do this kind of stuff, right? Give me the property. I'm going to give you 2K. Or worst case, you're walking away without having to go into foreclosure, right?
I think you're talking about like a hotel, right?
A hotel?
Is your a hotel? That's what they call it. So when there's a property that is turnkey, say that you find a property that's turnkey.
Yeah.
And then is ideal for innovation, right?
Okay.
Those properties are ideal for innovations. So say that there's 10K work left to do, and that brings the value all the way up.
Yeah.
Than what you expected, like the as is value.
Yeah.
Say that you fixed it up for 5-10K. You list it with the realtor, everything. You pay the commission after it sells for way more than you thought, because you added value by renovating a few stuff in the house or the property. And then after you guys close on that, for retail, when a retail buyer comes in and buys that, you guys split the profit, kind of what you're talking about,
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. So I call that a joint venture, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you use the joint venture as the tool to do it, because this way, we have a contract. We build for all of these, we get an LLC for each property anyway to protect everybody involved. And you're a part of the LLC. You can't like walk away with zero, right? You bought the property, whatever that's worth, you get that much, percentage equity out. If you're a wholesaler and you found me this awesome deal, whatever that's worth, you get that equity out as well. So it's you get a whole tail. I love that. A whole tail. It's the whole tail.
I have the definition right here.
Yeah.
So I could read the definition out.
Yeah, go for it.
Hotel is a real estate investment strategy that combines aspects of both wholesaling and flipping, where an investor buys a distressed property at a discount, performs only minimal cleaning or minor repairs, and then sells it for a profit to a traditional retail buyer, often through the MLS. And then you split the profit with the person that you're, if you're JVing, because most people just probably do it with themselves, or they JV on it, they joint venture, and there you go, you split the profit when you sell it at retail price to a retail buyer.
Yeah, exactly. Love it. So it's funny, right? When you're in this business for a while, you learn all the different things. I'm basically doing that, but I have no idea. Like at some point it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a property, I'm going to renovate it, keep it for a while, and then I'm going to, I don't know, resell it, and then I'm going to do it again. And at some point somebody was like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm going to call that a burr. It's like, oh, okay. So now it has a name. The thing I'm doing has a name, right? It's all good.
Yeah. Sometimes you won't really notice it unless someone points it out. Oh, that's a whatever. Oh, that's a but you don't really know the term for it.
Yeah, I have a term for it. Shared equity plan, baby. Shared equity
Yeah,
plan. That's all we do. Yeah, you.
Do you know about the equity carry method? I heard of it, but I don't really kind of understand, but if you know about it, you can probably give me a few.
Well, there are a bunch of names for a bunch of different things. I was hoping, because you brought it up, I was hoping you'd educate me, right? I mean, I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. So I was hoping you'd say, "Oh, yeah, that's just when such and such." And I'm not going to guess, and I'm also not going to use AI to look it up or whatever. It's fine. We can move on. But it is interesting to me. There are many different options out there. I'll tell you one that was kind of weird. One when I learned it, some people call it the advanced creative method, where at the end of the day, you get the property having spent no money at all, and they just say, okay, cool, let's sign this contract, and it says basically, I mean, I'm simplifying it, but we'll sign a contract that says, hey, I will give you ownership of the property by transferring the title. I'm not going to get any money at all. You're going to hold the property long enough, and the renters are going to pay, so that then you can go to a bank and be like, hey, I own this property free and clear, or something along those lines, which is not financial advice. But needless to say, you go to a bank like that and get a property for $0 out of pocket, and then you get and then they get the loan and come back, and with that money they go back and pay the original seller, right, a little bit, and then keep it, blah blah blah. It gets more complex after that, but that's like the really simple thing, right? And to me, I'm like, yeah, there's a bank involved, I'm out. So yeah, you can if you can convince somebody. Number one, I'm not a salesman, so I go to someone and I'm trying to buy something at a really really deep discount, and they're like, you know what, I'm giving you max price. I'm like, okay, fine. I buy at the max price. I'm definitely not a salesman. So add to that, then you then go to you're trying to convince them to give you the property, basically hand it over, so you can go to a bank. So yeah, number one, I'd have to become an awesome salesman, get the property for nothing at all, and number two, I'd have to go to a bank. Ugh, that I think number two for me is the worst part, because banks, man, uh, banks don't like me. I don't like them. They don't like me. I don't like them. You know what I mean? Something like that. So maybe that's what it is. It's like, yeah, I have to put my money someplace, and my solution is just never to put all my money into any one bank, because there's nothing that this bank is going to do at some point and hold up my entire wealth. Like, oh yeah, you thought you were a billionaire, but excuse me. Oh yeah, you thought you had money, and now you have nothing because we're keeping it hostage. Yeah, yeah. Guess what? Fine, I'll just go. I'll make sure I use money from my other account. But the government, of course, the government can do anything they want. So that's a different story. But banks, at least I'll try my best to protect myself. Yeah, man, this is long. This has been a long ranging conversation. It's an awesome conversation. I love talking about different strategies for buying real estate.
Yeah, I don't like banks too. Primarily because like the number one thing that I want to stay away from in real estate is interest. Even if I'm structuring deals, I hate usury. I hate the interest and everything. I mean, this whole this whole state. I mean, our nation is based off of debt. I mean, their idea of like building wealth is based off of debt. Even the money is not as it was before, where it was backed by like gold and everything.
Yeah.
That was actually valuable, but now it's just backed off of like debt nowadays. And then, but I try to stay as far away as from banks and everything. But what are your thoughts on like credit?
Well,
credit cards and
dude, I have zero credit cards. Um,
okay.
I founded the no credit team. Like literally, that's our goal. If you've got credit cards right now, you know, I'm like, you know what? What can we do to help you go to a point where you have zero credit cards? Um, you know, you've got loans right now. What can we do to get you to pay those completely off and walk away and live free and happy? You know, no potential
It-
for a bank calling you and be like, hey, where's my money? Or you know, like, yep, I don't owe you anything.
Because essentially credit cards, they lend you the money, and if you could pay it back, they bring your credit score rises, right? That's 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 how I kind of understood it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I like to say, and I have it on the shared equity plan website, that they basically say, hey, I want to give you some money, okay? Okay, it's fake money, but still, you're gonna owe me, so you can't keep it. You're gonna have to pay me back, okay? Okay. Oh, and by the way, when you pay it
Okay.
back, I'm gonna tell the credit reporting agencies, the credit bureaus, there are three of them. I'm going to tell them that you are a good boy or girl, that you are a sucker. I mean, a good boy or girl, where if somebody gives you a little bit of money, they can make a ton of money off of you because you'll turn around and give them more money back, over time. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the credit score system is just basically something saying, hey, you are willing to give money away. You're willing for somebody to write something a into their computer that says, okay, Renault now has, let me guess, Renault now has $10,000. We'll just put some zeros. $10,000. Put it into the computer. Send you an email or even a letter that says you now have $10,000. You really don't, but and now you can go and start using this thing because you have this credit card that if you put it into a machine, it's going to connect to that account that they just created out of thin air. Okay, cool. And now,
That's crazy.
as soon as you use it, they're like, "Oh yeah, please don't send it. Don't, you know, keep it for a month, keep it for 2 months, keep it. Oh yes, he owes us money. Yeah, right. They're celebrating. I'm literally they're having parties, because you now owe them money, and all they had to do was type a number into a computer. It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, no, I'd rather make $100,000 and then turn around and buy, a supercar with $100,000 cash. I'd much rather do that than buy $100,000 cash over 10 years. Then it turns into a $200,000 property. Not financial advice, whatever the number is, but it's a lot that you pay over time. So no, thank you.
Yes, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Even with like car dealerships too. I had an instance where someone told me that they bring, say, a car was worth, or they were going to buy the car for like $70K. They had it all cash, right? Mind you, they came into the dealership. They said, "Oh, you want to buy this car, all cash." They all like give him a look and be like, "Okay, are you sure you're gonna pay this all with cash? Like, we can't really make money off of you if you like pay all cash.
Exactly. Well, I
We
mean,
want to finance all this.
that's funny. There's a different way they do make money, but it's fine. They don't make as much, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Crazy though.
maybe you don't know, but and again, not financial advice, but it's been I've learned over time that the car dealership doesn't actually own the cars on the lot. They basically have the cars on the lot so that when you come in, no matter how much you pay, they're making money. It's like for them, they're sort of leasing the car. They didn't. You got a $30,000 car on the lot, like a bunch of them. You'd think that's the case. You think the car dealership paid $30,000 for each of these cars on the lot. Nope, they did not. That car still belongs to the manufacturer. It's almost like consignment is another way to put it.
Yeah.
They put it on the lot. They actually don't own it, and when somebody comes in and pays, Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, now we just got 30K if you pay in cash, you know? And they only had to pay
Yeah,
something like $500 to put it on the lot, plus insurance
that
and blah blah
makes
blah.
that makes sense because, say for example, Ford, they have they don't only have Ford cars on the lot. They also have Chevys on the lots. They have a Toyota on the lot. All other different car models
And brands, yeah.
and manufacturers,
Yep.
And
they sure as heck are
and then-
not going to pay 30K, to the other manufacturer.
Yeah.
No way, man.
And then the thing about that is, if it sits on the lot for too long, they give it like they reduce the price so they could actually get the car off their lot and still make a profit, because they're technically, they say they're losing money while it stays on the lot as well. But
Yep.
I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
It's funny. It's like the grocery store, even worse than the grocery store, because the grocery store, I'm pretty sure they pay for most of the items on their shelves. Most grocery stores, I would think, you go in there, you want to buy a bottle of shampoo. My guess is they actually paid for that bottle of shampoo to put it on the shelf. It's an investment because it's not too much, right? I would think, or they put it on a credit card. Maybe that's what they did.
Yep.
Who knows?
I think the reason why people chase after credit cards is the point system, where you get rewarded based on how many points you have, like a free this, free that. Like if you travel, you get a free hotel. If you wouldn't even take a flight, that's free as well if you use your points. Like Amex as one of the ones that people chase after. If you have those credit cards, their point systems are what captivates the people.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Look, man, dude,
anything that they see is free.
It is fun.
Or I'm getting,
What was that?
If someone comes in and says, "Oh, here's something free," and they'd opt in, they don't really know how the thing operates. As long as I'm getting for free, I don't care. That's what most people think,
Yeah. Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah.
You tell them, hey, this is free. Take it. It's free. Actually, I've heard of somebody doing that. I know someone, literally. I know someone who had this experience. They go into a store, I won't say where, and the person at the door was like, hey, you can have this thing for free, whatever it is. I won't say what. This is to protect everybody involved. Trust me. But they walk into a store and they're like, hey, you can have this. It's totally free. And the person's like, nope, thanks. I don't want it. It's like, no, it's fine. It's totally free. Totally free. Okay, got it. Thank you. And then the person kept browsing and looking for other stuff. I'm like, okay, here's something else for free. Literally, this is the story. And the guy's like, no, you already gave me this one thing for free. I can't take this for free. Okay, fine. And then finally he got a third thing. He's like, here, you got to take this one for free too. Trust me, it's free. I'm like, okay, fine. Look, I don't want any of this stuff. Just take it back. No, it's free. Okay. And then he's like, all right, thanks for everything. He's walking out the door. He's like, wait. I know I told you all that stuff was free, but the whole point was you were going to buy something. So you can't leave the store until you buy something now. It's like, wait, what? What is wrong with this situation? Man, they got held hostage pretty much, trying to convince them, quote, these free products were free. Not free. You gotta pay something, dude. So Izzy, I thank you for your comment. Feel free to come up and tell us how we're crazy or wrong. Raise prices, not wholesale prices, big box store. Yeah, I don't understand. Like you're saying a lot of things, it looks interesting and very accurate, but I have no idea what it any of it is. You want to come up and tell me?
He's I think he pointed some things out. Yeah. If you're not experienced, or if you don't have someone that, even for novations, if you can't do it by yourself, you need to do it with someone who's experienced.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't want to do anything if you to the point, like you're mentioning, right? You want to be working with someone experienced who knows what they're doing to work with them, and hopefully
Yeah.
you trust them to not screw you over. Okay, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to just be doing something with no understanding of it at all, because I've seen it.
Yep.
People will go in and like, oh yeah, I'm going to do fix and flips. Really? Okay. Have you done it with them? No, no, no. I'm just going to do it. Okay, cool. And then they go in, and the problem here is they use their own money, and then some have done the same thing with other people's money and gotten into trouble
Yeah.
because it turns out everything costs more. They didn't realize, and at the end of the day, they're losing money, and now they have a property. It's not even fully renovated because they didn't have enough money to do it. Their numbers weren't. It's like, okay, now they're in trouble and they're stuck, and it sucks.
Yep.
You're just trying to get ahead, and you see what other people are doing, and you think, yeah, I can do that too, but you got to be really careful out there.
Yep, because I feel like if you're new, you're more susceptible to actually some people like to take advantage of you. Like I've seen, like one thing I noticed like when doing wholesaling is anytime, like a contractor gives a quote, 90% of contractors are liars. It does not cost that much for materials. They overprice their materials, and when you can get it from Lowe's or Home Depot and do it yourself. I had someone that actually got screwed over by contractors and overpaid, where they actually now have 1.4, 1.5 in holding properties, or actually a millionaire right now, just doing fix it flips. And he's learning on the job, so he's doing it himself. Where he buys his own materials and does it himself. With some people, of course, he has a whole team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, contractors. That's one thing I noticed. Like contractors are liars when they quote you on something that's not the actual. I mean, they want to make a profit too, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway from it is just to recognize that if you go full steam ahead on anything and you try to do it fast, anything they say, right? Oh, it's like a get rich quick kind of scheme, anything it is. And it just happens to be that scenario. Yeah, you go full steam ahead and you're using other people's money, or, you're spending a ton of your own money. A lot of times you would have become a whole lot richer if you slowed down, because you miss things, you make mistakes, and all of a sudden you lose out. And that's not a good thing. Interesting. I think I've got to update this. I've got to update this and add shared equity plan on all of it. What's up, Izzy? Izzy's in the house. Some people come on here and they complain, and they not complain, but they argue with me that I should be getting loans and getting credit cards and using the points and blah blah blah. And I used to do that. Trust me, I know all of it. I'm still not interested, but thank you. What happened? I thought Easy was coming up. It's like, nope, that's an accident. What happened? All right. Cool beans, man. Cool beans. Well, we started off with Reno, me trying to understand this awesome deal with someone paying you upfront, staying in the property, giving you a ton of equity. But I think probably the point is that it's a good deal. It sounds like a good deal just from the way that it's structured, but you definitely got to get someone to pay you more than all of those numbers combined. So you add this much, you subtract that much, and everything else, and at the end of the day, you got it for 170 or 270, I should say. You really need someone to pay more than that. Izzy, have you successfully come on stage? There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't hit the button right. I'm driving and trying to talk to you guys at the same time.
Okay, dude,
But
you're driving and you're doing all this typing. What? That's very scary.
yeah.
Wow.
Probably the two stops.
Don't worry. I was like at a light
Okay.
when I typed all that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, just to recap a little bit with the whole, pretty much what you guys are talking about is OPM, and which I agree. If you have your own capital, like it's definitely the best way to go. That way you don't need to JV with anybody. You don't need anybody else's money. You can set the rates. You have a lot of more power if you have a lot of capital. Now, for people who don't have the capital, they have to rely on the hard money. They have to rely on Gap or what they call bridge loans, things like that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you don't have the experience, these people will then set the rates.
Yeah.
And so I come from the fix and flip aspect of all of this.
Yeah.
And
In North Carolina, right?
while JV, yep, North Carolina. And
Okay.
while JVing with people is great and everything, you like you were saying, people could get taken advantage if they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when you JV with anybody, it all comes down to how you structure that deal, from the equity play to how much money you're going to put in, but and what, whether we're wholesaling or we're going to do the burst strategy or whatever the case is, you have to make sure that you structure your deal in a way where you feel confident about it, because that's when you don't really know and you start signing papers, that's when you get taken advantage of,
Yeah.
And with the burst strategy, it's totally different than wholesaling, like you guys are talking about. With the burst strategy, I wouldn't really JV with anybody on that unless you know that person. And with that burst strategy, the reason why it works and the reason why a lot of investors get into trouble is because of the equity play. Because they think, they get the property, they fix it up, they renovate it, rehab, whatever, and they resell it and they're trying to repeat it. Well, the process of resell and repeat, that process there, it's where a lot of investors get, messed up and they get into trouble, because now that equity, you are taking it all, you're taking 100%, when really you should only be taking, and I'm somebody who's very conservative, so like, you're looking at maybe 15 to 20, and that might be a little high, or a little low to some, it just depends on your experience and how comfortable you feel. I know a lot of people that take out maybe 30 to 40%,
Yeah.
of that equity. And the thing is, sometimes investors don't repeat.
Yeah.
They take that money and they go on vacations, they do whatever they do, and when they come back, it's like, oh man, I don't have that money anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
real.
so, I
mean,
don't know.
it's basically like heck, I forgot what I was saying. That's too funny. But the point was, you put this money in, and I was gonna say it's like getting a loan, right? You think that
Right,
that's what you
right.
have, but that money is actually not what you have. You get $100,000 or $50,000 from the bank or whatever, and you go and you spend it. Well, if you don't spend it on something that's going to get you more than that, you better make sure you pay that off ASAP, because otherwise you're going to be in the hole for a long time. And basically what you're
Right.
describing is the same thing, right? You get a property, you put a bunch of money into it, all that money is gone.
Exactly.
All that money is gone, right? You spent the money renovating the property. Now it's there, and you can't do anything until you actually sell the property for more than all the money you just put in.
Yep.
So
Correct.
yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's exactly it. Yeah. I mean, and really, when it comes down to it, it's experience. And, some people like to learn as they go, and others, they like to learn first before they, dive into something like that.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But I,
Well, one thing
But
you
I
said,
think, yeah.
you mentioned OPM. I'm like, OPM, whatever. You know what? I'm down with OPP, other people's properties, baby. Down with OPP.
No, I hear you. I hear you. But from the flipper's perspective, if you're trying to build, equity and you don't have any money, OPM is the best tactic for you.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you're gonna have to hustle and try to get somebody to lend you that bridge loan.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on contractors. You hear the word con in there.
That's where they got it from.
It's for a reason.
It's like that's where they got it from. Is they're con artists. No.
Yeah, but the thing with I was saying about the credit cards, is that the way it works is you want to you take a credit card for a specific reason, and the specific reason is to pay your contractor. So, for instance, I know that the last time we did it, it was for security purposes. Because if I give you,
they walk away.
They walk away.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, for me to sleep at night, I take this credit card. Yeah, it's a big bill, but I'm taking that on. Because what's going to happen is the security behind it is that I could call up the credit card and say, hey, this person did not deliver on what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
They refund it. Or if they do, hey, I make a draw, and I pay the credit card right off.
Yeah.
So I'm still using, that's the tactic, but and on the upside is you get points, your credit starts, being good. I mean, the credit aspect it's not even a big deal because, you're putting this under your LLC. So it doesn't really, affect you personally. Now, if you do get a personal credit card and you use it, you'll reap the benefits,
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally understand. And in fact, I am on the other side of that coin, where not just that, I'm totally against credit cards. Now, people want to use credit cards. People want to go and get and use the perks that come with it and get all the points. And hopefully those points don't diminish over time. Oh yeah, it's 10,000, 10,000 points. And hopefully those 10,000 points ain't worth, $10 later on. Right. But I think at the end of the day, for me, I'm like, I really enjoy the fact when someone tries to run my credit and go and get my FICO score, and they're like, wait, I can't. It says there's nothing here. I can't. Your score is not even 0. Yeah, it doesn't exist because I have no revolving debt. So I really enjoy that. Like, wait, you have no credit score? I have no credit score, sir, because I have nothing that they can go against for credits. In fact, property that I own, I don't own the properties, but I have businesses that own property. So I don't even have that in my name. It's like literally I have nothing. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's a smart play.
You know what's funny? I'm actually reading someone's assignment because I'm trying to submit an assignment right now. I'm in school. But the title, it says two sides of the same coin.
Nice.
Which is funny.
It's ESP, baby. I can read what you're reading right now on the other side of the world, the other side of the phone. That's just awesome. But I did want to ask you, Izzy, you're up here. How long have you been in North Kakalaki, as they call it?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, they do call it North Kakalaki. we my family and I, we've been here for about going on 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, my ex-wife's family was there, and they had property and all that stuff. And like, man, these folks are really deep ingrained in the location in a certain area in North Carolina. The nicest people you ever met. Love those people. Nicest people.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
there's a lot of nice people here.
yeah.
Yeah, where was your wife's family from?
Well, obviously we're on the internet, and I am live on YouTube, so I don't necessarily give out too much information, but yeah, but
Gotcha.
their family
Yeah, no.
was from North Carolina. I actually lived in Hampton Roads area. Shout out to Hampton Roads 757, baby. What's up?
Oh, okay.
What's up? What's up to everybody?
Gotcha.
But yeah, I used to live in that area. Dude, it turns out I used to live all over this planet, man. All over this place I used to
Yeah.
live. So life is good. I can't complain. God has treated me
I
well,
hear you.
and I'm able to turn around and treat other people well and do stuff like
I
this.
hear you.
Come on here and
So you
yeah, go ahead.
so not only you're on Discord, you're also doing this through YouTube?
Yeah, I'm live right now on buyboxlive.com,
Oh,
which
dang.
which takes you to YouTube. Um, yeah, it's just something I started up. Like, you know what, I might as well be doing this and
Yeah.
creating
Oh
some
man,
content.
you gotta share your channel so I could follow you.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. The easy way to get there is it's in my picture called buyboxlive.com, and that'll take you to all the different things. I was sharing a screen earlier, and I don't know why it stopped.
Okay.
But let's go right here, buyboxlive.com. There's a link at the bottom here to go to
Oh,
YouTube.
okay, got it.
And then, of course, there's some other stuff. I was on this link. Other stuff I do. Watch an amateur win. I'm definitely an amateur, but thankfully I've made some smart
Yeah, yeah.
decisions. But some other
Okay.
tools that people can use. Some of them are free. Some of them have a charge to them, but all useful. And
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I'm buying properties as well. So if people, I think this is shared equity plan. This is what the one I was talking about. I literally have on here. Has someone ever said you
Okay.
need credit? Why? To prove you'll give money away? That's literally the question I had. So I have that up here.
Credit. Interesting.
So Dave Ramsey and some other people are like, yeah, you don't need credit cards. Just cut all those things up.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I am one of those. I am one of those. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
feel free, man.
Oh,
I
nice,
appreciate
nice.
it.
So
I appreciate it. We're here,
so
just
the
trying to show
website is
people.
fine. Okay.
Show people it's not crazy, right? In fact, I have this on this thing. All of these folks, that some of them have said, "Hey, I will even show you how to buy a house without any credit." That's basically what I do. The last house I bought, of
Gotcha.
course, 0 credit because I have no credit. So, but I was still able to buy the house. It's okay. We will survive.
Okay.
We will survive.
Well,
It's
I want to
okay.
learn that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely going to go on your website because I definitely want to learn that.
Yeah, man, check it out. We're buying properties using the shared equity plan. Basically, what we do, you think about it this way, right? If I need to buy $100,000 house, I can go to a bank and get $100,000 loan, or maybe a little bit more than that, to cover closing costs, etc. And then eventually I have to pay back that bank, and the bank's going to get a ton of money, a ton more, like 140, at least 140 if I have it over 8 years, at least 140K plus the 100K that I have to pay them back. Okay, but if me and all my friends got together and I put in, let's say, 10K or 5K or whatever, we can still buy that same $100,000 house, right? And we get the benefit. We get all the benefit. We don't owe anybody because we pooled our money, right? I know, and it's small, but it's a good place to start. That's how I think about it.
I like that a lot. Now, where do you find these people to share the equity with?
Well, some people are in Discord. Right now, we've got a bunch of people signed up. I won't say that they all, put any money towards buying properties or anything like that, but I will tell you, we have I'm launching something. I'm gonna say next week. It might actually be the end of this week because we are madly going crazy trying to build this up. But yeah, we're gonna be launching something next week that gives people an opportunity to succeed, whether or not they joint venture with me, whether or not they buy properties with me. But yeah, it's pretty much the same, right? We a bunch of people that we are in the Discord, and we help each other find properties to wholesale. And really, the whole point of this was a lot of people, Reno, for example. I want to make some money wholesaling so that I can go and buy my own properties. I'm like, okay. Well, if you want to buy properties eventually anyway, why don't you just find me an awesome deal? And I think I have it on this one. Where do I have it? Right here. Find me an awesome deal. We'll do like a sub 2 trust acquisition or whatever on it. And instead of, let's say, 3K or 10K or whatever that number is, right? You can get that in equity. This is where I have that. You get that in equity. So, and I love this way of doing shared equity. The owner, in this case, this is a sub 2 example that I have up here, but the owner was going to walk away losing, not losing $1,000. They either lose $1,000 if they sell by themselves, or they sell to someone, a wholesaler or someone creatively. They don't lose $1,000. And I'm like, you know what? You have $4,000 in equity. Why don't I just $4,000 right in equity? Why don't I just give that to you in equity as part of the joint venture? This is that OPP thing I mentioned, right? You're joint venturing with me. You're bringing the property instead of me buying the property and you walking away with zero. I'm gonna give you some money. Come on, join me. And the agent, of course, I'd love to partner with the agents as well. Some agents I talked to, and they're like, yeah, the last agent I talked to, I think it was $1 million property. And he was blown away that I'm buying properties creatively. And he literally told me, man, if you can do that, then I'd love to sign up with you and buy properties with you. This was last week I talked to him. Name is Jason. And I'm like, yeah, if agents are willing to do that as well, forego their, forego whatever money they were going to get up front, yeah, that just reduces the amount of money I have to pay, my entry costs, and then I can put all of that money towards renovating the house and make it an awesome for the renters. So yeah, if everybody wants to get equity instead of cash, then at the end of the day, we get an exit to the point of what we were talking about before. You sell the property later on, and everybody get a whole lot more than they would have gotten. That's the goal. That's the goal.
All right. What about this?
Yeah.
What about
So,
this?
quick question.
Hold on.
You're not going to. I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off.
You're very good.
Are you not getting a loan from somebody else? What you're essentially saying is you're asking somebody to put their own money into this, right?
Yeah, I'm not getting a loan from anybody. Basically, what's going on is about the only thing going on here is the owner. This example I gave up here. Let's go back to this one. This example, right? The owner was going to walk away, to sell their property. We all know this. This is how sub 2 works, right? In this example, I like to put it this way. I'll walk it slowly because other people have asked the same question. I'll do it slowly. I'm selling a property. I need to sell it for $150K. Nobody wants to buy it. Okay, 130K. Nobody wants to buy it. The number keeps coming down, and finally it's at $100,000. Fine, somebody please buy this property for $100,000. You can't really go much lower than that because you are going to lose even more money because there's a loan on it. The loan is, let's say in this case, $96K. Okay, that's where we end up here. So if they sell the property, the realtor gets their 3%. The closing costs, and this one is because it's under, let's say under 500K, it's about 2%. When it gets over 500K, that actually goes down. But closing costs about 2%. So now the owner has to spend $1,000 out of their pocket to sell their property at 100K, right? And you're like, that sucks. And we come along, not just me, but all these folks, that we talk to, they come along like, hey, I'm going to do you a favor. You don't have to lose $1,000. I'm going to buy the property, and we'll make sure the realtor gets paid. We're going to pay closing costs. And at the end of the day, you don't go into foreclosure. You get to save $1,000. That's basically how it usually works, right? But I'm like, hey, there's $96K for the loan, and the property I'm buying it for is $100K. So, there's $4K in equity, right? Technically, there's $4K in equity. So that's why I'm like, guess what? If you keep the property subject to just like everybody else does, right? I'm going to joint venture with you. I'm going to take your 4K and I'm going to put it towards our equity, whatever that number is. The agent, if they're on board with me, I know a really good agent I'd love to do this with. I know a couple other ones I probably don't want to do it with. But if they're willing to put their assignment, their their commission, right? Their 3%
Yeah.
commission. They're putting that towards the joint venture as well. So instead of me paying them 3K cash, I'm going to put that towards the numbers as well. The wholesaler, same thing. They wanted 10K, but if you joint venture with someone and you have somebody else dispo, your 10K, you get 30%, and then the joint venture person gets 30%, and then the dispo team gets 40%. At the end of the day, you end up with 30%. So that's where I got my 3K from, right? So the wholesaler also has 3K
Okay.
that they would be getting. All of these folks, they can get all of that in cash. Of course, the owner would walk away, with nothing. And I'm like, let's take all of that stuff
Okay.
and put it together. Me and the shared equity plan folks, we'll put together our money and put $10,000 toward this property. So that's how this ended up with, okay, if the owner has 4K, agent is 3K, wholesaler is 3K, and we put in 10K on this house, that 10K is going to go towards renovations, all of that stuff. We're gonna make this property awesome with 10K, right? Cool.
Okay.
And we're gonna pay closing costs and all that stuff. Cool. Well, what does that mean? It means that we have equity here of $20,000. And because we have equity of $20,000, that means that everybody here, they have, the 4K person has 20%, and then the 3K people have 15%. And I have, because I put in 10K, which again, I love to put in less than 10K, but if I put in 10K, then I have 50% equity. But we are all joint venture partners. So that's how I got these numbers. Okay. To me, it's really simple. Their equity, whatever cash they were going to get, we're converting that directly into equity, and they're getting that percentage of the property going forward. We're now joint venture partners. Our LLC is a joint venture partner. Okay.
Okay.
So at this point,
Okay.
all I have to do is our minimum is a 2x exit, which means that the property just needs to go up from 100K. It just needs to go up to 20K, 20K above that. However many years, is that 5 years? Is that 4? And the property is now worth 120, right? The loan,
Okay.
hopefully, that needs to go down because we're paying it every month. So obviously it's going to go down. And if they've had it for a while, then it's going to go down faster because more of the money is going to go towards the principal. If they only had it last year, then, or last month, then all of the money is going to go towards equity, and it's going to take towards the interest, and it's going to take a while to go down. But if they've had it for a while, then yeah, the loan's going to go down pretty quickly as well. So at this point, we now have a 40K split. That's where this comes from. We now have 40K split. That's how we get to 2K exit. We bought it together for a value of 20K, and if we sell it, we actually have 40K. That's 2x. So now if I sell it at this point, everybody gets more than they would have gotten. The owner, instead of walking away with 0 or negative, 1,000, they walk away with 8K. The agent, they would have gotten 3K for their 3%. They're getting 6K. Wholesaler, same thing, right? Numbers are doubled. And we put in 10K cash. We're coming back with an extra 10K. So everybody walks away making money. That's the whole point of this. So that's how that works. That's the minimum of 2x. But I really, really, really want the property to go up in value. Again, not too much, right? Maybe up to 150 in this example. The loan still goes down a little bit to 70K. Maybe it's another 6 years, another 3 years or 2 to 3 or 4 years. So the total is maybe 6 or 7 years, whatever that number is. The loan balance goes down, property value goes up, and now we actually have 80K to split. So everybody, again, walks away with a whole lot more than they would have gotten upfront. That's how I got to this number. I'm like, man, this shared equity thing. And guess what? I only had to pay 10K to buy this property.
Just to get in. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why to me it makes sense, right? Even this is just a 100K example. If it was 200K, okay, fine. Maybe me and some other people. Perfect example. I bought a property 3 months ago now. I keep having to add the number, but 3 months ago, I think the total entry was 30K. And well, initially it was 30K. It turned out to be 30K and then some renovations, so 40K. And I had 2 people on there who they were basically the wholesaler type. They put no money into the property, no money, 0, but they have equity in the property. And then I've got a bunch of other people who put cash into the property with me. So together, we just bought this 200K plus house with only 30K, or I'll say 40K down, right? Because we had to pay some other expenses, 40K. And for this 40K, I actually paid less than 10K total, right? Brilliant idea. Now what's going to happen? Few years go by, we sell the property, and my 10K becomes, I don't know, what, 20K, 30K, whatever the number is.
20.
It's like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
And
Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Oh man, this sounds really good. I gotta get running, but I took a screenshot of your website, so I'm gonna reach out to you because I really want to learn more about this, and then maybe I can maybe we can do something together. Because the way things are right now, I mean things are very slow right now, so this is something that I'd be really interested in.
Nice.
But I definitely want to learn more about it and get a better understanding too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to show you the example I was just talking about. It's like an eight bedroom in San Antonio we just bought. Awesome property.
Okay.
Yeah. Cash flowing and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm gonna definitely reach out to you and then we go from there.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
You know what this reminds me of?
Yeah, what's that?
All right, thanks, man.
Yep. What's that, Reno?
Talk to you guys later.
Tell me,
You know what this
Reno.
reminds me of?
You keep saying, yeah. What does it remind you of, Reno?
Syndication. Have you heard of it?
It's funny.
If it gets really big and if you actually get more partners to join up on you, you could open up you could start a syndication.
Yeah.
Where
yes,
people pull in their money, and a person takes care of the renovations in the first one person takes care of the acquisition part, and the other takes care of the disposition, basically everything on how to get it sold, on getting it renovated and everything. And every person that put in the money get a share after it sells,
yeah.
That's how most syndication works.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to invest in one. Basically, I got referred. Someone referred me to a trustworthy person. I checked them out, talked to him. It's just that I need to have equity. I need to have some type of capital to actually pull in money. That's the part. That's the whole part.
Yeah.
I don't share the headaches of fix and flips and renting the property. But after a year or two, I get a good amount of return.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well.
So that's syndications are. That's what your kind of structure kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. So once again, the different names for the different things we do. I call it the shared equity plan. Other people might call it syndication. Other people might call it, pooling their funds and all this stuff. But all good. The goal is, hey, yeah, we're not each billionaires, right? We're not there yet, but together we can still do some good and buy some properties. Find ways to do it together. So, man, we've been going for a while, about an hour or so. This was an awesome conversation. I know you said you sent me that message. Feel free to reach out, and we can connect offline and take a closer look at your property. Like I said, I'm probably not the buyer for that particular property, but I can at least review the numbers and see where you might be able to go from there, or at least who I know that might be able to buy it. So we can do that.
I had one more question.
Yeah, go ahead. What's that?
You were my kind of data is up and down, so you were cutting off a little bit. But I wanted to ask you a question based on who brings the capital. All of you guys bring the capital, right? Not just you. When buying the property, right?
Well, for shared equity plan, this is the example I was talking about, which is if you are a wholesaler and you find an awesome deal, like the last property we bought in San Antonio, right? The wholesaler found a pretty good deal, and they have zero money put towards the property. The money that they would have gotten in the wholesale fee, that number, right? The assignment fee they would have gotten up front, no, that number became equity. So now they own part of the property just like the rest of us. you know?
Ah,
Yeah, so I put cash
so
in, but the wholesaler found the property and they put no cash in. And in this case, I think the agent got cash and the owner got cash in this example, the last one that we bought. So they're not
okay,
partners with us, but the wholesaler at least is.
okay. And does it work with mostly renovated properties, like close to turnkey, where there's minimal
Mm,
renovations to be done?
I will say yes, just because it makes the numbers work a lot better, right? If the
Okay.
property needs, let's say, 50K of renovations, and you're buying it for 50K or 30K or whatever, then all of a sudden you now need more people to help you buy a property for 80K, and you pay less than 10K. Otherwise, obviously, you're paying more than 10K, right? So, like I
Yeah.
said, my own buy box, when I'm buying a property, I didn't mention it here, but the whole reason, maybe I did, but the whole reason is I don't want to spend, let's say, $50,000 or $100,000 on any single property, right? Even if it's worth $1 million, right? I found a fix and flipper. This property is worth, I call it fix and flipper, but I buy a property that's very distressed. It is worth, when you renovate it, $1 million. All I have to do is buy it for 100K. Cool. That's $100,000, right? All I have to do is, let's say, put another $100,000 into it, and it's worth $1 million. That's awesome. Anything can happen between the time I spent 100,000 and I spent another 100,000 renovating. Anything can happen. I know it's technically $1 million property, but guess what? I just spent $200,000 and I have nothing to show for it yet. Yeah, I'm not willing to put myself in that situation. I don't care how good this property looks. I'd much rather pay less than, like, for that same 100,000 or $200,000. I'd much rather buy 5 properties, right? And now if something happens to one of them, it takes a while. It gets flooded. The other one gets
Yeah, you're minimizing
destroyed
the damage to the facility.
by fire. The other one, the renter is completely destroyed. Okay, whatever. I'm waiting for insurance to pay me back. Awesome, on a bunch of these properties. But guess what? I still have other properties that are giving me money, right? So I
Yes.
love the idea of
Yep.
diversifying my investments. I don't want to put $100,000 or $50,000. I won't say how much I can, but I don't want to put all of that on any single property at all.
Okay. So you guys get properties below market value, right?
Not necessarily.
And off market?
Not necessarily. I will tell you though, the numbers always have to work, right? The numbers always have to work. I don't like the idea. Well, I won't say it on this live. This live is almost done. I won't say it on here. Drop a bomb on this one. But I actually made a proposal last week to spend a whole lot more than market value on a property. I got to see what happens to that message I sent out. But it's not just one. I'll make offers above market price depending on the numbers. The numbers just have to make sense. Like if I buy a property, it's worth 100,000, and I buy it for 120. Okay, fine. I just have to wait for the property, hopefully, to appreciate to the point where it's now worth 130 or something, right? So it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not crazy to do that.
You mentioned like trust acquisition and sub 2. I think it would also work with seller finance as well, right? If there's low entry.
Absolutely. That's the goal, is it has to be low entry. That's why I'm like, you mentioned the cash deal, 230, whatever. I am unable to, I don't know what this is. Give me a second. Okay.
Could you send me a friend request? Because I can't really send you a friend request. And I sent you the so I could probably talk to you offline.
What kind of scammer stuff is this? What are you talking about? You can't send me a friend request. Everybody's sending me friend requests.
It says Mega Plex Man is not accepting friend request.
Don't, please. Yeah, I get it. People are always trying to reach out to Megaplex, man. Don't. You see Clinton
Oh,
on here? Clinton? Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I thought, but you speak.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
you speak
use
from.
yeah, I have
Okay.
one that says just a mic. Just a mic is
Yeah.
all it is. I use it so that it can have nice, crisp, clear conversations. But yes,
Oh,
so
okay.
you're speaking to Clinton.
Okay.
Okay, so the other one, yeah, you can friend
Yeah.
request that all day long. But people kept
Oh.
friending, just the mic. I'm like, dude, it's just a mic. Literally, it's in the name. It is
You're right.
the
Yeah.
name.
Once I can see. Yes, it's just a mic for Vibox Live. You're right.
Thank you. All right. Well, thanks
All
for hopping by. We had an awesome conversation. I like
Yep.
to get in here and just have the conversations. We talk about buying properties, and I love the idea of buying my own properties and showing people that you too can buy a property, even if you think you're just a wholesaler. Yeah, you can. It's not too difficult to buy properties with others. You team up and buy properties, so it's possible.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Let's do it, man. I wanna actually partner up and see what we could do together. So